Everybody say it's all in who you know. In order to get in the film industry, you gotta get in. You gotta have names and things like that. But trust me, it comes with a price. That association will come with a price. Been there, done that. Lamarcus Tinker told me all about how individuals in Hollywood are actually sleeping around in order to even become an extra on the movie. And this is just ridiculous. And then you don't really get the credit, that you deserve. A lot of that happens locally, too. So it's not all on who you know. I know the one who's going to get me there, God, and there are no motives. There are no small printed lines that I did not read because I trust solely on God to get me there. I don't go looking for opportunities. I don't go blowing up people's phone and saying, hey, I want to. No, I don't. I let it come to me, because if it comes to me, I believe that God sent it. And if he sent it this way, then that means that, there's going to be little affliction that's going to be added to that me being associated with that individual. So I do not believe that who you know will get you where you need to be, because it will get you in a place that really, in the end, or at the end of the day, you don't want to be there. And another rumor is I don't have a budget. I have a micro budget. Micro budget, that would do just fine. You just know how to orchestrate your budget in order to fit what you need. Like, don't get the large locations. Don't get try to get some actors who would do it as deferred payment or some volunteers. There's so many ways that you can skin the cat if you have a micro budget. And there are various state and federal government support that are support the film and television production. So you got to look out for those. You just got to be willing to research and find all the great benefits out there, but you don't have to sell your soul in order to do it. You got to be patient. You got to be diligent. You got to be persistent and consistent. So if you're patient about it and you're diligent and you're persistent and consistent, you can avoid all of those film industry rumors and do what you need to do. As long as you got the vision, you got the instructions, just keep moving forward. That's my take on that. Avoid the film industry rumors.
And that's words of wisdom. And what is your take on that, Nikol?
My take on it is anybody that wants to be successful in the film industry or any kind of success, I think the number one question they should ask themselves is what would make them happy and what would you do for free? And the reason why I say that is because the key to success is happiness. Success isn't the happiness, that just follows. Mm-hmm. And whatever it is that you want to do, just do it with passion, and work smarter and not harder at it. And, and the money will come because you're so passionate, you're so focused, you're doing it, that, like I say, I work 24/7, and that is literal. Like, when I wake up in the morning, I'm getting texts, phone calls, emails that I already have to jump up and start my day with, and stuff like that. And also, to be successful, do what it takes. Brilliant Women in Film, once a month, we hold a free writer's room. We run into so many people. Oh, I have this idea. Well, come to our free writers' room. It's open to the public because that's our give back to the community. Anybody can come. You don't have to be a woman. Any children. Last week we had two. I won't say kids, but they were like, one was like maybe 17 and the other one's like maybe 12. And they were writing, and they were seriously sitting there writing, asking real questions. So going to different workshops, be it a class or a seminar or YouTube University, even as Brilliant Women in Film, if you're a member, we have workshops, and that's how we work to help each other. We have classes in DP and of director photography, how to do craft services, the catering, how to direct, how to write, how to become a SAG actor, all these different things. So it's just being a part of it and just always staying relevant and being a part of film groups and seeing what's going on. And a lot of these things are offered for free. A lot of different things because people want to give. I'm one of those people. Someone asks me how to do something, and if I know it, I am just, for the most part, hey, this is how you do this, that, and the other. But you just got to everything that you need already exists. And what I mean by that is, it literally does. I have a goal one day to be a billionaire. Billions of dollars exist. I just have to take the path to get there. And that's staying focused, investing in myself, diligent, networking with the right people, and the money will come. So again, what will make you happy? I know how to do a lot of things. I have degrees in all of that. But just because I can do it, that didn't make me happy, because I was driving in traffic going to work unhappy, and I was coming home taking off the steam unhappy. And sitting in my car a few minutes before I unlock my door to pretend everything is well and happy. Now I am happy. And I'm happy to be happy. So the success is finding what makes you happy. And again, piggybacking off of what Ms. Jones said, is that you don't have to be a writer. You don't have to be a filmmaker to be in the film industry. I have friends today, they see me on post, and all of a sudden they're interested in film. Oh, well, you know how to cook. You have a food handling license. Hey, why don't you come in the film industry as craft services? And they're doing that. I know people who, and I'll just be honest about this, I know men who have, records, criminal records, but they learn how to do different electrical work and stuff while in prison. Hey, you can come on and learn how to do lighting on a film set, and now you're a lighting person. And now you have a job. In lighting, I give so much respect for people who know how to light, or technology and stuff. And you can come on doing that and have steady work. So whatever it is, again, that makes you happy, and you would do it for free, use that already exists to become successful in the film industry.
All those are inspirational and motivational to the extreme. And ladies, you are nurturers and who are more than children. You birth forth ideas and break forth implementations for strategies to tell your stories and stories of others. Your intrinsic abilities leverage the capacities to become writers and directors and producers, acting coaches, etc. And I'm aware that each of you women are committed-minded, professional, performance-driven, extremely energetic women producing your own unique work. You have such a compelling vision, and you have shared such compelling vision of how to develop leadership strategies today. Also, ladies, Brilliant Women in Film, BWIF, is an organization that is spearheading a woman's initiative for the advocates for and support women working in the area of the film industry. And you have shared with the listening audience on how one can reach this momentous feat in their life. And what I have to say with that is truly remarkable. And what I've heard each of you sharing is that you have to have teamwork to make the dream work. And you must not only manage but lead by providing a living example of what it means to succeed, which is truly amazing. And that type of blueprint, let us be successful architects of peak performers in our life that takes us above and beyond any ordinary definition of success. That's the kind of compelling insight into character that teaches us how truly great leaders are fashioned and forged. We are coming to the close of our interview, but I want to ask you ladies about, in life there's so many ebbs and flows, up and down. And can you give us an example in your life where you were able to gain from the pain by turning a situation of adversity to the victory in your life? Nikol J.
Yes, I am a conqueror. I was in a domestic violence relationship for 14 years, and I was at my lowest point in life. I felt like I didn't have anyone that I could turn to. I felt like I was losing myself, my mind, and I didn't know what to do. And what turned me around was a lot of things that took me, time to really see and really get to. But one of the things is that I started with me. I started with believing and coming up with a plan on how I can get out of this domestic violence relationship. A lot of people don't understand that it's not as easy as people think when you have someone that's obsessed with you and know your every turn and your every
move. And so it's very, very hard for some women to really get out. And so I had to come up with a plan to find a way out. And I did that. And I did it with God. I did it with believing in myself. And I took that pain that I was going through and I turned it into something positive. And that was something that I didn't have when I was going through it, was someone that can talk to me. So I opened myself up to domestic violence victims, and I go out and I speak all over Texas. And I'm telling them about how to look for the signs, how to make a plan to get out, how to believe in yourself, how to look at me as an example that made it out. And so that's one of my passions, is to, tell women, men that are going through something like this that they can make it out. They can do it. There is a life outside of that. Love doesn't hurt. And, all I can say is, they need to take one day at a time and just really, really, really seek some help and tell somebody. And, Joan touched on that about being silent. And for so many years, people didn't speak about it. It was like a taboo. And so nowadays people are speaking about it. There's a lot of resources out there that can help women and men that are being abused. And so how I did it, I just believed that I could. And one day I stepped out on faith with God, and I made it out, and I thank God for that. And so, yeah, that's one thing about it, is to tell your story.
Thank God for keeping you. And Joan?
For me, what was gained from my pain, I've had many unfortunate situations growing up, but the most dramatic situations was experiencing domestic abuse with my mom, being in the home as a child, and just actually getting through that and trying to comprehend what was going on as a child was just like devastating. And so as a teen, I would speak out in different ways because I was venting, but I didn't know what that was. There was even at one time, we all get to a certain point in our life when we say, why me, Lord, why me, why me? Mm-hmm. And just when I thought that because I had such a traumatic childhood and my mom was an alcoholic for years, and this came as a result of the domestic violence, but I thought as I got older it would get better, but it didn't. And so that's why the question stood with me on why me, stood with me for a long time, and through the journaling, that helped. But when I became an adult, I lost 2 baby girls, one at 37 weeks, one at 5 years old, and I'm a caregiver of 2 sons who are diagnosed with sickle cell disease. But through it all, God allowed me to transform that sorrow into the journal. So by publishing 3 books, 2 of those books were movie adaptation of those self-help books, which is The Unexpected and Beyond the Vows. But I'm not a sorrowful person anymore because of what I've been through, because I know that what has happened to me in my life, it wasn't purposeful for me and it wasn't beneficial for me, but it served as a purpose. And I think that when we go through changes and challenges in our lives like that, we always we can always use that time of our life to bring purpose to it. And I think that's what made me feel comfortable in what I went through. So everybody has to tell themselves something to make them feel better or to actually grasp what just happened. And so what I told myself, I'm going to serve, all of this is going to serve as a purpose for me. And so I was not silent about anything that happened in my life. I am an open book. I have the trials in my life has been, maybe it's a big outcome of why I am a writer. And so because I felt hopeless and lifeless and wanted to give up and felt cursed at one time, I know what that feels like. And this is why I take pleasure in giving hope to others who's suffering, who's heartbroken or grieving the loss of a child, loss of a parent. It gives me great pleasure